Let's do that. How does that look? I think she's ready to add some color. One of the things about drawing pictures like this, people have a tendency to take the attitude of, well, if there's anything wrong with it, I'll just fix it when I add color. Color does not fix problems. Color emphasizes the problems that are already there. So you cannot take the attitude of, I'm going to fix it when I start adding color. It just won't work. Plain and simple. Let's start with some basic skin. I do not want to completely color in this area with flesh tone, because I want her highlights to be white. So like the area right here, the main part of her forehead, some areas here on the cheeks and a little bit on the chin, stuff along the nose, will not be colored at all. Don't forget to color her ear. Okay, even though I want the bulk of her forehead to just be a white highlight, you still need to color in a little bit under the edge of the hair, because hair casts shadows. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and put a little bit under that curl too. I went a little darker there than I'd like, so I'm going to add in a little bit more darkness in a couple of these areas just to balance it out. Color in the eye socket and some of this underneath the eye too. And I didn't want, if you look at the human face, the place here at the top of the nose, there's a line running from here to just outside the edge of the mouth. That is called a nose lobe. So I'm about to talk about the nose lobe here. That's the line that I'm talking about. I did not want to define her nose lobe enough to draw it in with the black, because in my opinion the nose lobe, it's not so much an unappealing part of the face as it's something that you can very easily make unappealing if you screw it up. So I usually just kind of hint that the nose lobe is there. Put in the underside of that eye socket there, kind of darken that in a little bit. I'm pretty happy with the way this is coming out. So, okay, draw this nose lobe in very lightly with this skin color. The bottom of her nose is going to be fairly dark. And then at this point, I am going to color in her lips with skin color. I will be giving her lipstick later on. But when When you're working with colored pencils, you're actually painting. That's a good way of thinking of it, is you're painting using pencils. And when you're painting, you don't throw down solid blocks of color. You kind of mix it. And so that's what I'm going to be doing with her lips when it comes time to color them in, is I'm not just going to make them flat red, I'm going to kind of mix them with the color of her skin. Let's see here, got to draw in this area here. This little area right here between the eyebrows is a place that I see a lot of artists neglect. They'll draw the sides of the bridge of the nose, but then they'll just leave everything down the middle pure white, and it makes the person look like they have a very high ridge between the eyes. So you want just a little bit of color in there, or just a little bit of darkness, whether you're using darkness or color or whatever. You want just enough darkness in there to where it kind of caves in this part of the nose, and it keeps it from just being like one solid straight piece. So, kind of draw the neck, and most of the neck will be shaded by the rest of the face. So, okay. Let's kind of curve that in a little bit more. Make it to where the highlight is just this area in here. Yeah, okay. This is coming along pretty well. I'm pretty happy with this. Let's darken that just a little bit more. And then kind of cover over the areas I shaded black with just a little more color. Once again, this is a woman. You just want to hint at the shape of the neck, or she will wind up looking like a man in drag. So that's, yeah, even that, I think that her neck is a little too defined, but we'll just, I'm not certain what I can do to fix it right now. But let's do one of my favorite parts of any portrait that I draw, the eyes. The eyes. I love working with eyes. I can imagine her being green-eyed, but I also want her to have some blue in the iris. So let's try this. Let's start out with the blue. All right, and then see, that's what I did with the blue right there. Is I colored in just the top here, and I leave the bottom light colored. That is just a style thing. That is something that I like the look of. It's not realistic. It's not the way eyes actually look. I just like the way it looks on a drawing. So now I'm going to take some of this sea green, I don't know why that's labeled true green. That's a sea green there. But I am going to color over the blue with some of this to make her eyes look green. And now I'm going to take a dark green. And ironically, that's actually labeled dark green. It's not forest green or anything like that. And I'm just going to really darken this top area here. And I've done enough with her eye now that her pupils have kind of disappeared. So I'm going to come in here and recolor the pupils. And there. Can't really see it very well on camera. In person, though, her eyes pop. They're a nice, bright green. Actually, I think I'm going to, instead of leaving this down here completely white, I'm going to shade that in with just a little more green. Okay. Okay, but now we need to get back to work on her skin because her skin is not done. Her skin needs some brown in the darker areas, so I'm going to color this. Just kind of hinting with it because I don't want the brown color to dominate. This girl seems to have become kind of an Irish wench. So, you know, she's got to have pale colored skin. And so I'm just kind of hinting with the brown. Just enough to make her look more dynamic. But without making it look like I went through with brown. When you're drawing, you have to be pretty careful with the eye sockets. Actually, I think I am going to color in the tops of her eyelids here. I'm going to gently curve it like that. You do this too much and she'll just look like she's getting old or tired, which I think that's what I did to her just now, but yeah, she looks a little tired now, but let's see what happens. I'll put in a nice brown line there, and just darken that area. Color in her ears. At this point, I might as well not have even drawn her ears, but it's still important to do that sort of thing. You know, the whole point of gesture sketching in general is that you've got the basic shape underneath, that even if it doesn't appear in the final drawing, it still created the parts of the drawing that are there. think her face needs a little bit of purple. Not a lot. Let's throw some up here. Let's put some here on her lower jaw. One of the things that I'm thinking with her lower jaw here is that if her sweater is going to be red, it's going to be reflecting a little bit of light up onto her face. And so just a little bit, just a little trace of purple in the areas where the light is bouncing up from her sweater. So let's see here. Just a little bit. Besides, that purple is framing her face nice. It's really pulling it together, I think. One of the first things that I did way back when I first started trying to use colored pencils, and I didn't do this on purpose, I did this because I had to. The colored pencil set that I was using did not have a skin tone in it. And so I was attempting to create a skin tone using all the other colors. And I really liked the way it turned out doing that. These days, whenever I have a skin tone available, of course I'll use it.